Hello, Maurieo. In this video, I'm just going to take a little look at land surveying for building construction. It's just by way of a little discussion as to how things go. So I'm going to first of all turn off layer 1, and then I'm going to get my pen and start drawing. Okay, so yes, everything's going good. So first of all, let's just take a little bit of land. So let's just say that there's a street frontage there, and we've got a section out here like this. So this is our little section. Now I might go with a different color here, and I've got a selection of colors here, and just go red. So our little section will typically have some boundary pegs at each corner. Okay, so that's a bit of a starting point, as we need to find out where the boundaries are. And in the New Zealand system, typically we have what we call some existing survey information. So we might have, for instance, up here a brass plaque, which might, I'll just call that brass plaque 1, and then we might have a little iron spike 2 out here, and these are typically just coloured in like that there. That indicates that they're old existing marks. Okay, and then we might have another one just down here, just like so. So that might be brass plaque 2. So these come in various orders. So the brass plaques might be what we call survey standards in around the town, quite important marks. And then this might be just iron spike 1 here. That was put in on the line down between these. So typically these will, I'll show them as a dotted line. These will be what we call measured and observed, and they'll have some various existing and known values on them, a bearing and a distance. Let's say bearing and distance that's known. So bearing and distance. So that is there's some known information that we have, and that's our starting point. That gets us into the system. Now it may be that we have some information. Well, there will be definitely information on these that located these boundary pegs. Now they might be, say for instance, put in like this here. There may be, they may have been put in like that. There may be a third or some other information down here that was used perhaps as part of another traverse to put some information down here like this. Typically these measured lines are measured, shown as dotted. So this might be another old mark here, iron tube 3. Okay, and that from that some radiations were put in. Radiations were put in to put the survey pegs in, like so. So there's our old information. This is the information that might be in the plans from Land Information New Zealand, and so that's going to be put in there like that. That's all existing information. Now this information may well have disappeared. That this for instance, iron spike 1 may well have been obliterated, as is iron tube 3. That may well have been obliterated by construction and adjoining lots, or any number of things could mean that the information is not there. However, the actual physical marks are not there, but the information is still there. So we might find that these marks here, that one there and that one, are both there, and perhaps we usually need 3 old marks before we start a survey. So let's just say that there's another old mark down here. So we'll just go into red, put that in there. So we'll go into red down here, and that could be AP3 from another survey down there. Okay, so let's say that we've found these ones are gone, but that these ones here, oops, I'll undo that. That this mark here is here. So we've done our research. Okay, so we've found those are there. But so what we first of all need to do, usually in a situation like this, is at least define the boundary, and possibly it's really helpful to put the boundary pegs in. So how do we put these boundary pegs in? This mark's gone, and this one here is gone as well. And the boundary pegs may well have gone as well. So what we do is we, first of all, we would set up here at this here. So first of all, we'd set up there, and we'd observe down there and observe down here to BP2, and we'd check that we agree with that distance, and we check that we agree with that distance all the way down there. Then we might say, for instance, put another survey mark in here. So this might be a new mark that we're going to put in there, or we'll call that AP A. All right, so that's going to go in there, because that might be a suitable location. There could well be, maybe like, say through here, might be a vehicle entrance or something like that. Our curb and channel could be out here like this. This could be our road, curb and channel in there. So that mark might have been taken out when they constructed the vehicle entrance or something like that. So we might put that mark in there, and we probably need to traverse around through this thing. So we might actually put another mark in here like this, which we would call AP B. Okay, like that. Then we can come down to here, and we'll put a little mark in here, in this corner here. Okay, and we'll put a little mark in this corner here, like so. And what we'll do is we'll traverse. So we've got this information, we've got these 3 old marks here, which we're in terms of, and then we've put a couple of our own, and now we can put our own little traverse down in here, like so, and we'll traverse around through there like that with our accurate traverse, and closed back onto here. So that'll tell us, that gives us what we call these control points in here. And then from those control points, we're now, in terms of the old information, we can calculate new bits, new new information out and radiations out to these pegs here. And we can put the pegs back in. So that's got our pegs all in our lot. Remembering that previously these boundaries, although we've put the pegs in, these boundaries here, these are calculated. Calc. The boundaries are calculated because you sometimes, especially in an infill situation, it's difficult to measure along the boundaries because there's fences, buildings, and what have you. So there we are. Now we've got these. We've got our new marks in. I'll just foot around, indicate here that we've now put new pegs in. We've got our new pegs all in place. All right, for our boundaries, and yeah, we've got our boundaries all defined and our site defined. So now we can start thinking about placing our house. So our architect will have these dimensions available. So he will now be telling us where he wants the house. So let's just say this is the house is going here, like this. Okay, so straight away we can see that we're now not able to see down this line here, but we can, if we wish, we can set up now on this mark here. Let's say we can set up there, and we can check down there to make sure that we're in agreement there, and we can check down here to make sure we're in agreement here because we know exactly where we are on the lot, and then we can calculate into these boundary corners of our house. So we can put them in there like that, and so on. And then we could use this information here, these marks here. We can observe down this line here, get set up here, and possibly set up some boundary corners down through here. Like so. Now this is just, at this stage, we've just been talking about position, but we can also maybe start to look at level as well. Level. So these marks may well have heights on them in terms of some data. So we can use that, the heights of these data, to set out the floor level. And we could, if we wanted to, put a level on this mark here, have a level on here that we use or establish there, because this mark's going to be out of the way and we know it's going to be there during construction. And we can use that to determine the finished floor level in here. So what we've got is a very scribbly looking diagram, but the whole point of the exercise is a number of students have been asking me, what's this control? What's the point of putting these marks in here? And they're the marks that are reference points from which we can start to set things out and pick things up. So later on in the piece, we may want to put some, we might put some sewer lines or things in here. So that might, I think I'm running out of room here, but we might want to put some sewer lines and things like pipelines, say, through here. This here might be a sewer line that we need to tell council where it is. So that might get, I'll just put SL, a sewer line in there. So we can set up our instruments here, observe down to here, observe to here, make sure the marks have it moved, and we know exactly where we are, and then we can start doing some as-built shots on these sewer lines here, determining, you know, where they are and how deep and at what level, so that that can be used for council records. So we've got we've got cadastral boundaries, and that must be set out by a licensed, well, under the direction of a licensed cadastral surveyor. So we've established cadastral boundaries. Before we did that, we had survey control. So we set up the survey control. We might also take some levels or topographical shots all over the whole lot to establish what the levels are prior to design. So we've got topo survey, and that might be undertaken before, you know, like once we've determined the boundaries, we could come in and determine the levels so that we can get some nice contours over the land as to what that's you know, what the levels are, and some contours and what have you, coming back here like this. So that enables us to design the building. Then we've got building set out, so we can come back and position the building as we want it. Building set out, which would include things such as you know, the sewers, the floor levels, position of the building in relation to the boundary, and that have you. And then finally we've got as-built, which there are certain things that we might need to know because we have to find them later on, or further design is done. So obviously 1, that might be first, that would be second, cadastral surveys. 3 would be your topo survey. 4, you might be your building set out, and 5, as-built. And this is all done on the basis of these survey marks and the survey control that we put in. So that's sort of that's a little bit about the structure of a survey and how it goes on. It's a bit of a scribbly diagram. I hope you can follow it there, but this should help you with the concept of you know, the progress of a survey and why we do it, and why we do some accurate measurements around some of these little points and things. So yeah, that's like a nice little 20-minute discussion on land surveying and how it all fits together, and why we do some of these things. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Cheers. See you.